I'm Jackie.
And I'm Ashley. Welcome back to Dumb Witch Club.
Ooh.
Hello, Queen.
Hello. Oh my God, don't start. Don't even start.
I'm gonna start because we're starting.
Yeah, start actually.
Okay, good.
Actually, don't stop. Keep going.
We're like, stop.
Yeah, stop. No, don't really stop. Keep going. So what are we talking about? New sign Hoodist Leo edition. And as the house Leo.
Yes, the house cat.
I go. Meow. Couldn't be more excited about this.
So great. I love it. You're really like in your element.
I was saying earlier, like there is no sign that loves their season more than the Leo.
I would agree.
I'll tell you why. It's not because we're egocentric or selfish. It's because the sun is in Leo, and the sun loves being in Leo, and so it loves us, and we love it. It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, and I would agree. Like, and I feel like this year, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like one of those like confirmation bias, like things where like because you're noticing it now, you're seeing it or whatever. But I feel like this Leo season is like Leoing the most right now.
It's the Leo-iest Leo season.
It's just, yeah, it's
really
like,
is.
It's very, like, I feel like everyone is very, like, interested in aligning themselves with this energy.
Well, I am so glad to hear it, and I welcome and bless that for all of you.
So it's amazing.
Yes. We're just, like, so getting ahead of ourselves, which is okay.
That's okay.
Well, let's do a card pull.
Yeah, let's do a card pull. Okay, so the deck we have, it's different. You haven't seen this. Ooh, I don't think. No, you haven't seen this.
Just pretend you haven't seen it.
You haven't.
Or maybe you forgot.
Or because I clearly did, so I don't know. But it is the affirmation card deck from Dreamy Moons.
Beautiful.
I think we might have used another Dreamy Moons deck, which is maybe why I was thinking, did we use this? But
ooh, it's so black and gold.
I know, and
I love it.
It's an affirmation deck because, frankly, I am only interested in that Leo energy, affirmation. Everything that I do is incredible and good, and the world, like, kind of doesn't deserve me, like, mode.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't want any of the other cards because I was like, no.
Yeah, too high risk.
I don't really care what other things you have to. Just tell me I'm pretty and perfect, and that's all I need to know.
Yes, okay.
So I don't know if that's going to be what happens, but obviously you're going to be drawing.
Okay,
today.
I'll do it. Ooh, now I feel like I'm gonna channel all my Leoness into this.
Yes, and by proxy, I'll like mirror it.
Okay,
Back.
You have to. You will.
I do.
You always do. She literally always does.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay. They're primed. They're ready. Feel it.
Ooh, I'm so excited. I am safe in the universe. All life loves and supports me.
Okay. Well,
yes, it does.
there you go. You heard it here first, folks.
All life loves and supports me. I love that. And okay, we're like really bringing the glory to this, which I think is clearly there, but it's like also a really sweet message.
It is a really sweet message, and it's the heart of the message.
Yes.
That's the song that was running through my head when I was like prepping for this, was that song, The Heart of the Matter. It's time to get down.
I love that song.
To the heart of the matter.
Yes. That is a good song.
Yes. That's it. It's the vibe. We were just talking about that. Yay, everyone wants to harness that.
Love.
And you get to. And dang, these cards are just, man, they're so pretty. And everything that Dreamy Moons, everything that she creates is beautiful. There's like these journals that she does, and like other cards and like different stuff, and it's all her artwork, but it's all this kind of like black and gold aesthetic, and
yeah,
it's gorgeous.
It really is. It's luminous.
It is. I love it. Yes. Okay.
You ready for why though?
I think I'm ready.
Are they ready?
I don't know if they're ready. I can't. We're not gonna know that.
We're gonna do it anyways. How about that? You have something really amazing to open with.
Yeah, okay, and I love that you just said it that way, because that's exactly the vibe, right? We're gonna open, but we're not going to completely step through and explore it fully yet, but, right? We are opening up the Lion's Gate portal.
Well, that sounds perfect to me. What does that mean?
It's like this super incredible thing. Okay.
Yeah, tell
So
me.
it's, okay, so as of July 26th, it opens, right?
Ooh.
It opens. It is when the Earth and the Sun align with the star Sirius.
Oh, yes.
Like, you know, Sirius Black in Harry Potter. Sirius, and the galactic center, which is the like cluster thing that like the Milky Way like revolves around.
Yes.
So these things align. It's crazy. These things align around this point. And Sirius, that star, it's the closest to the Earth that it ever is.
Ooh, yeah.
And it rises with the sun and the constellation of Leo.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's there. So it looks like there's I mean, maybe not to like the naked eye or like not whatever.
But depending on where you are,
depending on where you are, and all this kind of
But
stuff,
it's
and
happening.
over the years, whatever. It looks like there's two suns in the sky, but one looks like the sun, you know, like burning sun, and the other one looks blue.
What is this?
Yeah, isn't that wild? And
Yes.
the pyramids at Giza were built during this time and aligned with Orion's belt and Sirius and the sun to like make this like perfect matchup. And it was not like an accident, like they did that on purpose, obviously. And like it's this like crazy like open portal. It's a consciousness portal.
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds like a very collective,
Yes.
Like Earth humankind
Yes.
experience
Yes. Very much so.
moment.
Boom, bingo. Yes.
Yes. It
Yes.
sounds very powerful as well.
Yeah, like extremely powerful.
Yay.
So like this is opening. It's gonna reach its peak, but not till August 8th.
Okay.
So we're not gonna go too much into like what to do on the peak and blah blah blah. But just to know, it's open. So start opening
It's
yourself
already
up. It's
open.
open. But you know, that's a thing, right? Like that's great and we love it and it's like this powerful thing. But that's a lot. And with everything else going on and all these retrograding planets and all these, you know, different wild things we've been talking about, and lots of squaring and stuff, just like I think it's good to be aware of it. That's why I didn't want to
Totally.
wait on it. Like it's good
Totally.
to be aware of it. Just open yourself up and know that it's gonna kind of feel big like that, and that it's okay. And there's things that you can do, and like I'm sure you have ideas for it. I'll have ideas for it, and we will
talk more about it next time. And so what you're saying also just reminds me there are a ton of planets in retrograde currently.
Yeah.
So we have Saturn,
Yeah.
Neptune,
Yeah.
Pluto,
Yeah.
Venus,
Mhm.
and I think like Chiron might be in retrograde
Yeah,
right
Chiron
now too. And of course there may be others, but there's a lot of retrograde happening right now. So that's just again something to be aware of and kind of keep in mind. And we might even talk more about that next time too.
Yeah, a lot of retrograde, a lot of fire retrograde.
Yes.
It's a lot. Like I've definitely been noticing it. This past week was like very intense, and there were like a lot of weird things with like stuff crashing, not working,
Mm-hmm.
like communication I was receiving where I was like, "You're really gonna talk to me like that?"
Mhm.
Wow.
See, well, and that's that. Yeah, I know Mercury changed over from Leo to Virgo, but it's still kind of that sense of like, you know, watching your words, and people who are not watching their words as Mercury's in Virgo,
Mm-hmm.
can bite you.
Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna try anyways.
Exactly.
So, and that's where you put your lion paw up and you don't let that happen.
Mhm. You adjust your crown, and then you're like, "No."
Yeah, exactly. You remember who you are, and
Yeah.
you're like, no.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
just like Simba. So,
That's right.
yes.
Remember who you are. Aww.
I know, I love it. I said it like all powerful, but I'm like, oh, it's
Lion
cute.
King reference.
I know, such a good one. But we also need to highlight
Yes.
there's a full moon in Aquarius on August 1st.
Aww.
And again, no secret, Leo season. I'm a Leo, love it. But the polarity is always the energy with
Yeah.
the full moon.
right.
So the polarity is with Aquarius. So the full moon is in Aquarius always during Leo season. So I really like just in general this concept, but I feel like bringing it up here in particular, you can play with the opposite energies of the polarity
Totally.
during the full moon time.
Absolutely.
So I think this one's pretty interesting. We have the sort of individual nature of Leo identity and expression versus that collective kind of, you know, Aquarian depth, right? So outward and inward, we kind of have that polarity going on too.
Mhm.
But these are both day energies.
That's right.
So
Oh,
that
that's a good
means
point.
active.
Oh yeah.
So whichever way you want to reflect that or
Mhm.
project that,
Mm-hmm.
be active about it. I don't know what that means
Yeah.
for you in your life, in what direction you go, but that's really how I'm taking this.
I love that. I feel like, okay, I get the polarity and I really see it, and like we know it's there with like Aquarius and Leo, obviously. But I also feel like there's this thread of like rebelliousness
That is very true.
that connects the two
Totally.
that you can lean into, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because like Aquarians are not going to be told like how to think or what to do or like be put in a box either.
Right, no, exactly. And I feel like that's how Aquarius brings in sort of the individual within the collective.
Yes.
And Leo is about your individual expression, but Leo is an interpersonal sign.
very much.
And so it is socially and outwardly directed. So I feel like there is a really good exchange
there
that's
is.
available here.
There is, and with the fire, or yeah, the fire and the air, that
Totally.
exchange.
Yes, it's just kind of
Yes.
feeding
It's
itself.
just feeding, and like, but again, that's a lot, right? That's another thing, and it's another collective consciousness thing, along with sort of that like lionscaping. So, just that can maybe even feel like, oh God, like what's happening here?
Yeah, and when I say action, if you don't feel like you have the action energy in you, your action can be to take no action. Your action can be to close your blinds and lay down. Like,
Yes.
that's totally fine.
100%, we support that. Anytime
Always.
you need to do that, yes, we always support that.
Yeah. So, okay,
I love
some
that.
really good ideas for why, though.
Mm-hmm. It's intense, but it's like good, and it has the potential to be really amazing. So I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see what you guys do with it and sort of what comes up.
100%. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready? I'm pulling all my big witch energy
Me too. Me too.
for this new sign, who is Leo segment. I'm so excited.
Yay!
I feel like such like a nerd about this.
I love
Like, I'm
it.
so excited.
It's cute.
I know. And it's so funny. I think it's easy to joke like about, of course, Leos love being a Leo, but
Of course.
I really do.
Yes, of course.
I really do love it.
Yes.
It's my favorite.
Even Leo moons really love that.
Yeah,
for
even if
themselves.
all you have is a Leo moon, which is not much, because I have like multiple planets in Leo.
That's right.
But even if all you have is a Leo moon, you should totally take whatever you need to get out of this.
Yes. Any Leo placement loves that placement for
Yes,
themselves. And
100%.
we're here to stand that today. So
Mhm.
that's our job.
Okay, so
Let's
we're
jump in.
We're in Leo season. Leo season runs approximately July 22nd to
Mhm.
August 21st, depending, as always, on the year, the times, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Leo is a fixed
Yes.
fire
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah. There's a lot of intensity.
Can you just? I'm like, can you take my temperature?
That's a lot of intensity.
Yes.
Fixed fire.
Mhm.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like, I will burn your house down.
Yeah. And once I'm pouring the gasoline, like, I'm pouring it all.
I'm pouring it, and it's staying here, and it will be burned to the ground.
Imagine if a person also was an Aries rising.
I can't imagine that.
That'd be amazing.
I can't imagine that. It's intense.
No, I think the point is, and obviously, I'm talking about myself again here. I swear.
Imagine that.
We always channel the energy of whatever sign we're talking about, and I feel like I'm just like triplicating it, like it's just over the top.
I feel like I'm just like fanning it. I'm just like, yup, work.
She is Esther Gemini rising, and she's like, yeah.
I know, I'm like, I love this. I love this. I love how chaotic it is. It is my Gemini rising. I'm like, this is chaotic, and I'm so here for it.
Yeah. You're like, bring it.
I love it. So good.
There is a lot of intensity
Yeah.
to Leo
Yeah.
energy,
Yeah.
and I think, as with all the signs that we talk about when we talk
Mhm.
about them, there's always the plus and the minus. There's a pros and cons to this.
Of course.
And I think this intensity, this fieriness, it's beautiful and fierce, and we'll get into more of that. but it also is exactly what makes it so hard for some people to deal with or be around.
Oh, 100%.
And
yeah. I don't think it's like a hated on sign. I wouldn't say that because there's other signs that people love to hate.
I know.
More.
I was thinking about that earlier.
Yeah, because I don't see that or hear that a lot. Like, oh, I hate. Like, that doesn't come up. I mean, if anything, the prevailing attitude, if they're not a Leo, is like, oh, ooh. Like it's more of a like, oh, like it's a lot, I guess. But it's not like, oh, I hate that, like the way they are about Scorpios. It's not the same. It's not the same. But I feel like it's they don't understand. It's like, or they're scared of it or something. I don't know.
Yes, no, I think you're right. I don't think Leo is super hated on the same way that like Scorpio and Gemini, like we talked about, are really just as soon as you hear Scorpio or Gemini, people are like, oh my god, like, you know, or they think like, you know, they're scared of it in a way of being like, oh, that person is horrible, or like I can't stand that person, or that person's a liar, you know, all these things. But which none of the above.
Person's a liar.
That's what people think Geminis are liars.
It's so funny.
They do. But with Leo, I feel like what you get is just kind of a like,
yes, that is the vibe.
one of those.
Yeah, like okay.
Okay, Leo,
No.
calm down, get over yourself. Like,
Yes.
you know.
Or when they like suspect the energy and then you confirm it, they're like, of course.
Of course. Knew it, should have known.
Yes, that you're so right. That is, I mean, obviously you know, so because you get that. But yes, yeah, that very much is like, oh, okay.
And I also just want to put it out there and say, I feel like this is a bit gendered.
It is.
And for the Leo man, quote unquote, it's a much more true.
Yeah, it is much more true. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
It
not
is.
sorry.
Oh my god, no, not sorry.
Yeah,
Not.
no, not at all. So, anyways, disclaimer. That being said, tell me some more facts about Leos. I'll just listen.
You're like, tell me more about me.
Tell me about me.
It's the 5th sign of the zodiac.
Right.
It's the 5th sign. So, where are we at in terms of, because I like when you go over this, where are we at in terms of like life cycle? Where are we at with Leo?
Yeah, so this is pretty interesting. I mean, I think they're all interesting, but so as we're here in the 5th house, we're getting, you know, not quite halfway through the life cycle. So we're kind of in the 30s, the age of the 30s, which is when you're beginning to establish yourself as an authority in your career or your home, or maybe you've become a parent by this point.
Right.
And so you're sort of establishing authority and almost expertise. It doesn't mean that you know everything yet, and you often don't feel like you know everything or anything, but you're starting to feel like you know more. You're more sure of who you are.
Totally.
You're more sure of yourself. You know, being a person who's already been through my 30s, I can say, like, it was really a time of recognizing, like, oh, the person that I thought I was at the beginning, yeah, that really is who I am, and that's who I'm gonna be, you know? So there's that, and you're mature, but still youthful, and I feel like it's really a very prime time of life for a lot of people.
It makes sense. It's like you're past the Saturn return, like, period.
Correct. You have overcome the challenge of the Saturn return years.
And you're like stepping into that place. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And like, yeah, that like 5th house, like, you know, rulership and everything around that. Like, I feel like that's something that's maybe like a little bit overlooked with Leo, because I think the focus is very much on like, you know, kind of the typical like fiery, oh, you know, like, oh, they're a lot, like, kind of thing. But that is like important, because that house is all about kind of like your creative expression of yourself, who you are, and really actually does come in like artistic ways too, like.
Absolutely. And I think it's kind of like that reinvention, the trial of the reinvention of yourself during those Saturn return years.
Yeah, that's true.
That you come out of that with more clarity on how to be more creative with who you are, and not feeling like you have to just define yourself in really narrow ways.
Yeah, because I think sometimes when people hear like it's about creativity and stuff like that. They focus very much on like art, music. That's there. Of course it is. That's there. But it's not just about that. Like you can be creative and artistic in a lot of different ways. Like you can be that in your self-expression, in the way you communicate, the way you talk, the way you write.
Yes, the way you dress yourself. The way you apply makeup or hairstyle.
Even your philosophies,
exactly,
can be like very nuanced and creative and different, and it's just not something that I hear a lot like focused on when people are talking about Leo, but I think it's really important.
Yes, and I think creativity is also flexibility.
Oh, that's so true.
The ability to look at something and make decisions on how you will approach or express yourself in that, which really comes with like usually hard-earned lessons. So.
Totally. And with the fixed nature also being a part of that, it's like you're able to do that and kind of see that, but then make a decision and be like, but this is what really serves me, this is how I really feel.
Exactly. And I think that's why it's not quite it's not that mutable energy.
Sure.
It really is that determination to make that choice and to press forward with it.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes, I love that too. So also, Leo is obviously the lion.
Yeah.
Which is one of the more obvious, I feel like,
Yeah. It's great, like, symbology. I love it.
It really, really is. And I think you've mentioned in a previous episode, the lion-hearted is also a phrase. And so Leo energy, it's about this expression and this identity and really assertion of yourself.
Sure.
But it also does it with heart.
100%.
And with love and passion and intuition. And the intuition that comes from, in my opinion, recognizing not just yourself in the world, but that you are a self in the world. And you affect other people and they affect you. And kind of that polarity again with the Aquarius energy, but like trying to balance those different factors out.
Well, yeah, because, I think when people, like, the initial idea of the lion, they see that and they're like, oh, that means, they think they're the kings and queens of the jungle kind of thing. Yeah, that. But a little deeper than that.
I like how you said they think they are.
I mean, they are.
Minor correction.
Sorry. Redacted. But yeah, it's deeper than that. Like you said, there's that that lion-hearted, that sense of loyalty, stability, even like with kind of the fixed energy of that. There's a dependability and a stability there, because fixed doesn't just mean stubborn. I know everybody loves to just think that, especially the Tauruses, which, but it doesn't just mean that. There's a consistency there. You can rely on them. I mean, once you are made a part of like a Leo's pride, you are never not a member of that pride. They will, but that's the thing, because I think people focus on like the leadership part of it as being like the figurehead part, but what they don't see is every other thing that goes into that and all the work that goes into that. It's not easy to be the leader of a pride. It's not easy to be like the head lioness who is the one in charge of hunting for the entire family and has to provide for them. It's not easy to do that. And so with sort of that kind of basking in the title of it, there's also a lot of work and heart and emotion and intuition and everything that goes into that they really rely on. But people are dazzled by the show, which is a great show, don't get me wrong. It's wonderful, and they make sure that they show it. But if you look past the curtain, that's all also there.
I really appreciate you saying all of that. I think if there is sort of one of those, there's many stereotypes about all the signs, obviously. And I think we've named some of them about Leo. But another one is that Leo, I think a stereotype is that it's a superficialness to it. That there's this showmanship, there's this like, just projection of like, I'm the best, and like, I go to bed at night just thinking I'm the best, And that's totally not it. But what you were talking about, like, there is depth. There is depth to it. I know we talk a lot about water signs having depth, which they do.
Sure.
There's a lot of depth in fire energy too. It just has a different flavor and it comes out in a different way.
Yeah, it does come out in a different way. But there's definite, there's just the warmth and the radiance and everything that fire is, because it's all of those different levels and layers and different things that it can be. But fire is an intuitive element, like
Yes.
just is. So yeah, it just that's also something that I don't think. I mean, people who are more into astrology and probably have relationships with Leos where they're seeing these things probably discuss that more. But
Yeah.
generally, you don't really hear that as part of the discussion. And it's not really surprising because anytime people are kind of like commanding attention or are sort of lauded for something or put on a pedestal for something, like people always forget what the work is behind that and the person and the traumas and the different things. Like people don't want to see that stuff.
Right. Because it's not the pretty show. It's not the razzle dazzle, you know?
It's not. And I think that I really do think that sometimes Leos don't allow themselves to like take off the costume. I feel like they feel like they have to deliver, like this is my job and like the show must go on, and so I just kind of have to do it. And in some ways they really do, because they become kind of these leaders in their like circles.
Yes.
But it's important to recognize at least, like, you know, they need like breaks from that. And it's okay, you know, if you are that, it's okay to take those breaks. And if you're around people like that, like encourage them to do it. You have to. You can't
Yes.
be that all the time.
No, and I think that is really good advice for Leos, or for if you have Leos in your life, that you can encourage. And basically, nobody needs permission to do anything, right?
No.
And as a Leo, I certainly wouldn't say I need anyone's permission to do anything. But if someone in my life gives me permission to take down that mask and lay down and like be like sweet and not have to be like up and performing and like doing everything all the time in this beautiful way, I love that. It means a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine it's probably very freeing.
It really is. And I think it's an act of love towards a Leo if you can give them the space to be that version of what a Leo is.
Because yeah, I mean, I think that deep down, like that's what they really want. Like I know that they love, you know, the attention, and they love that on the surface, and like of course they command it, like they can't even help it. So like of course they love that. But I do know, you know, that sometimes there's that feeling of like, but what if I didn't do that? And what if I wasn't that? Like, would people still love me anyway? Would people still show up anyway?
Yes.
And like, if you can be that person that's like, I don't care, you know, how you're showing up, I just want to love you. I mean,
it means everything.
yeah, I mean, yes, it does. And that
Luckily,
part,
I have that.
of course.
And not just with you, but I
No,
definitely do
but
have it with you.
yeah, well, of course.
Yes. So as you were talking, I was thinking of jumping to the celebrity
Oh yeah.
birthdays.
Okay, love that.
Because there's a lot of heavy hitters here.
Oh yeah, I know.
Which really comes as no surprise. Every sign we talk about celebrities. There's famous people in every sign, in every industry, all over, you know, everything.
Totally.
But I'm going to go in kind of an order here. I'm going to just read this list,
okay, I
okay?
love it.
So we have Whitney Houston,
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Okay.
Madonna,
Jesus.
Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger, J-Lo, Kylie Jenner,
Wow.
Meghan Markle,
Wow.
Barack Obama.
Yeah.
There's one I'm naming just especially for you, is Jason Momoa.
What is wrong with me?
Throwback to a past episode.
Yeah, when you see it,
But he's a Leo.
Hell.
And-
I don't know.
Our personal favorite
Well, of course.
is Lucille Ball. So, but okay, that list, like especially, okay, if you grew up at the time that we grew up,
Yes.
there was nobody bigger on the planet than like 3 of the people that I just named.
No.
Um,
No.
huge.
Nobody bigger, nobody more dynamic, nobody more, like, almost, not legendary is not the word I'm looking for, but like, almost like, well, infamous in their
Yes, and
celebrity.
sort of like, you know, the original like one name celebrity, Madonna, you know,
Yeah,
Cher was
yeah.
also there too, you know, but it's kind of like, who's also, you know, she's a Taurus, she's a fixed
Taurus.
sign as well, anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is these were people who were pioneers,
Yep.
who were iconic before. Now there's a lot of icons for everything,
Totally.
back then
It's
there
different.
was not.
No, there was not. And
There was a handful.
There was a handful, and it was not easy. And like, I mean, everybody that you just named, especially Lucille Ball, really aligns with like what we were just discussing in terms of like this amazing output and just this incredible, not just for themselves and their own glory, but as an inspiration to generations of people and creators. And like, I'm just like really speaking about her, but just like comedians and like the whole industry. Like, I mean, it's not just about her herself, it's like what she brought, like, and how she inspired others to be, and but behind that.
Yes, no, and that's, you know, adding on to that, Leos they're entertaining, they're charismatic, they're very attracting, which I think you see with all of the people that I just named. But then when you pick out sort of one of the people that I named, just, you know, Meghan Markle, for example, you know, she has this rebellious individualism,
Totally.
where she's like, this system is BS and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, you know, and she's doing that, she did that. If you wanna talk again about Lucille Ball, like, yes, iconic comedian, but also like revolutionized television, was the first woman to head a television production studio.
Amazing.
You know, so, and this power that she had, this leadership that she had, and again, many others on this list, Barack Obama, right? Was for the service of others. It was not for their own glory. It was for, you know, doing things to make people happy or to make people's lives better or whatever. So, but that's the kind of powerful energy that a Leo can channel, and especially if it's directed in a productive, positive way.
Absolutely. That's incredible. Did you know that Vivian Vance was also a Leo? Yeah, they were
I think
both
I
Leos.
did know that as a fact, but did not appear on the list.
Yeah, they're both
which makes
Leos.
me very, very sad.
And isn't that amazing though? And the only reason I'm really saying that is because nobody would really, like,
I know.
you know, because of just the way, and like you were going back to what you were saying about like the gendered idea of Leo and the expression and everything like that. Like, people are just feral to think that they hated each other and were pitted against each other, and none of that narrative is true. I mean, you could challenge me on it. I've studied this, so I'm like pretty much an expert. So you're not going to win. None of that.
She's a Scorpio. So
none of that narrative is true. None of it is true. I've read everything. Like, I've studied this. It's not. And like, they were the same sign. Such a powerful sign. Obviously, there's other things going on in each of their charts. Everything else.
No, but they were able to share this energy and this power and this, you know.
Yes, and Vivian knew, you know, that Lucy was this shining star, and she wasn't threatened by it in any way.
Right.
She understood the assignment
because she knew who she was.
She knew who she was, and she didn't like feel subjugated at all. Like, she's never expressed that in any interviews or anything like that. They were loving, dear friends, and express that energy differently, but like really so much in the same way if like anyone bothers to actually look into it. And I think that's just amazing.
Also, watch I Love Lucy. Just watch it.
Just watch it.
Watch it.
Amazing.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So, okay, all right. I feel like we are going on and on and on about Leo. The only thing that I just want to add, because I do it every time before we get to your portion, is this like sort of nature image for all of the signs that I've done. For Leo, it's the sun.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Which is like super obvious and very appropriate. So I just wanted to make sure I got that in there because that was something that's been in the other episodes. But okay, I'm super excited to hear in terms of social media landscape. What is Leo?
Well, this is the fastest I've ever come to this conclusion. It is the shortest explanation that I will probably ever have, and I only have one more to do, so yes, it's just take it, crowned it that. People will be completely unsurprised, I think. It makes complete sense. I really don't have a whole lot to say about it because it really just writes itself. Leo is OnlyFans. How could it be anything else?
Totally true. No explanation needed.
No, OnlyFans allowed.
Yep.
In all ways you want to take that, in all shapes, forms, every way you want to take that.
So good.
Phrasing is perfect, and the actual application, that is it.
It's it. You're totally right.
Yeah. So.
And I ain't mad at it.
No, nobody is. Nobody is.
Nobody is. And if you think you are, you're lying.
You're lying. You're a liar. Like Jackie said earlier. You're a liar. That person's a liar. Yeah, so OnlyFans.
Well, I love that. I think it needs, no further explanation.
I know, I really don't have any.
So we're just gonna mic drop that thing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of it.
Okay, was that enough? There's never enough big witch energy for Leo.
I know.
But I think that might be enough for now.
I mean, I guess it has to be.
So we have to get to a spell of the week.
Spell of the week. Okay, well.
And I'm still just like riding so high on
And that's
Leo
okay
energy,
because
so.
my spell of the week is very much in line with this. So we're just carrying on with the Leo energy here.
Yes.
Okay, because that's exactly what I channeled into this spell.
Don't leave me high and dry.
I'm loving it. Okay, so my spell of the week, I have a title for it this week. Yeah, the title of the spell is Pink Goes With Everything. That's a Lizzo quote, okay, from the new song in Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in a Barbie vibe, so everybody just deal with it. Pink goes with everything is this spell. So what you're gonna do, and again, you can modify this if you want to, but you're gonna do it the way I tell you, okay?
Yeah, no modification.
Pink candle, pink salt,
Yes.
pink crystal,
Yes.
rose quartz, strawberry halcite, whatever you want. Pink crystal, okay? You're gonna light the candle. Open up your circle. Put your salt circle around, okay? You're gonna hold whichever crystal you choose over your heart chakra. Heart chakra, big chakra for Leo, obviously, right? You're gonna hold it over your heart chakra, which is in the middle of your chest. You're gonna close your eyes. And you're going to visualize, while you have your eyes closed and you're holding it, breathing from that chakra. Breathing in, breathing out, as much as you want to do until you really feel like it's coming from that place, okay? What you're going to do with your eyes closed and as you're breathing is you're going to ask yourself, what is your heart's desire? What is your heart's intention? What is the thing that your heart is telling you right now? When that comes through, you're going to state an I am statement because that's what this energy is about, okay? Is what you are, what you truly are. So it's an I am statement. I am powerful enough to say goodbye to this boy, okay? I am strong enough to not put up with this situation, whatever, I don't know, those are both negative, but whatever you want to do.
Well, yeah, but maybe that's what you need to do.
Maybe that's what you need. I don't know, I'm picking up on someone out there. Now, you're gonna, while you're doing that, you're gonna have your hand over your heart chakra with your crystal, if you wanna do that. You're going to move it circular, counterclockwise circles over your heart chakra, okay? Counterclockwise circles. And you're going to think about when you're doing that, just getting rid of that energy, right? Cleansing out that energy that was maybe you were holding there related to that heart's intention. You're gonna like cleanse out everything that's like not sitting right with you in there.
Yeah.
Okay. After you feel like you've done that, you're going to then move it in clockwise circles and you are going to pull in the energy that you want, kind of like open back up that chakras, like charge it a little bit. Right? Really feel into that and like repeat it as much as you need to, however many circles you need until you feel like you've really done it for either way. Do that.
Because, and I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I just kind of have a question.
Yes.
Can you also do this with bringing a positive affirmation to yourself?
100%.
And then you would turn the other direction.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Yes, whichever way like you have to do it.
Okay,
Yes.
so if your affirmation was, I am worthy of the love I deserve, for example, then you would do the same thing
Yes.
with that, and you would be, instead of turning counterclockwise, you'd be turning clockwise.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yes, and when you're doing it, just don't put like pressure on yourself to like make this happen or manifest this, right? That's not the energy of this. It's not a super heavy manifestation thing. It's just opening yourself up, right? It's getting rid of kind of the energy you don't want, opening yourself up for the energy that you do want with that intention, and just observing kind of how you feel about it, and sit with that as long as you need to. You can journal about it, you can pull a card, you can, I don't know, whatever, ask your spirit team, your spiritual team for signs if that's what you need, whatever it is.
I love it.
But just remember, it's the pink goes with everything spell.
Yeah.
P means you're pretty, I intelligent, N never sad, and K for cool.
Oh, that's so perfect.
And that's the spell of the week.
That is the spell of the week. Yay. So I think sadly that wraps up this new sign, Who Dis Leo edition Dumb Witch Club episode. And I just want to remind all of you out there, we love everybody in all signs, especially if you're a Leo. Or at least we don't not love you because of your sign. Bye.
Bye.